Greetings again, beings of light. And once again, we extend our appreciation to you for making this time in your linear landscape available to hear this message. Today, we come to you to speak on appearances. For now, your planet has progressed, and each of you, individually and in mass, where appearances are no longer a valid representation of the energies or the individuals underneath. It is no longer possible to, in your ways, judge a book by its cover, for those coverings are merely facades for what lies underneath in many of your unauthentic selves on your planet. So we ask you to use your inner senses when you are viewing individuals. And while you see the man on the street who is dirty, homeless apparently, ragged clothing, maybe in poor health, understand they are an angel. And if you notice them, understand that it is up to you to notice the individual who is underneath the appearance, the divine being which has come into your encounter, your physicality, and send them energy. They will notice. And always notice them. You do not have to interact with them. And if you feel called in your heart to do so, then please do. And do what your heart tells you and not what your mind dictates. That is important, and that will help you develop a heart-centered outlook, which will become a patterned response in due time, and that will become easier as you and yours and your planet progress towards the ascension, which shall bring in the open contact event many of you are helping achieve. Now, that appearance which we discussed is not only visual, for discern the frequencies of the voices you hear and even the written words which you come across. Sense their vibration. How does it seem to you? For only those who wish to be fooled are fooled. And they fool themselves by pretending that they did not know what they were encountering. And if they do not know what they are encountering, it is because that is a lesson to them to further refine that discernment, to take a look in their heart and to be open to that learning. For having your mind wish to help is laden with the opportunity for traps and holes to fall into. For others may take advantage of that 3D thinking reality, and it is easier for the heart to be misled when it thinks, or pardon, it is easier for the mind to be misled when it thinks it is doing the heart's work. It cannot. It shall not. It is not made for that. It is a tool for navigating your physical world and for connecting in other ways. But your heart is the true connection to your divinity. And if you let anything do its job, it shall fail. Now, that does not mean there shall be consequences necessarily, which you may not desire. But it does mean that you need to further develop that discernment between heart and mind and connect them fully. There are practices to do that, but that is not our focus for this particular session. We are here to have you understand that what you see and what you hear is not to be believed unless it goes through your heart and is checked for authenticity. You may ask your spirit, which resides in your heart, your higher realms, access through your heart, if this is true, and listen and do not interfere with the answers which come in with your hopes. For hoping that something is true is a key to you that it is not. And we are not saying that is true in all of those events, all those situations. But it is up to you to determine what is true and best for you. For others, indeed, for the time being, still harbor those low vibrational energies within them, which cause them to believe that lying, deceit, theft, dishonesty, debasing others, maligning them, making life difficult for their own abstract enjoyment and perversion of love energy. Now, that is a bit judgmental, which is only for your human understanding and expression, for it is not the way which we experience. This may be a review lesson for many, but please consider it. And when you see something, when you hear something, know innately not only if it is true or false by developing that sense, but whether it is for you, if it is just a test for your discernment, or if it is something which you need to erect a boundary to prevent or to communicate such things so that others may know where you stand in truth. And as a parting gift, we shall let you know that your appearance is true to us. For each breath, each thought, each beat of your heart echoes the true authenticity of who you are. It may not be fully represented in your 3D realm, but you cannot hide from who you are. You can only lie to yourself and to those you encounter by not being your authentic self. And that is another lesson which we have provided and will provide again in your linear future. So look beneath the appearance, feel beneath the appearance, and project your inner heart on your appearance, and do not be swayed by fancy coverings or flowery speech. And you will find your greater divinity in knowing the greater divinity of others.